both dealing with the relationship between the county attorney's office and law enforcement. So the first question was, please describe your relationship with the Utah County Attorney or Sheriff's Office and other law enforcement agencies within Utah County. So obviously that one's directed to the city and county attorney. I want to make it a little bit broader. And so the second question is, should the county attorney provide checks and balances on the county sheriff's department? So the question, I guess, I would pose is, what is the proper role or relationship between the county attorney's office and law enforcement? Okay? So we'll go a minute each, and the order will be Jeff Graves, David Levitt, and Adam Conway.
Law enforcement and the prosecutors, we're on the same team. Okay, there's not supposed to be a tension between the two offices. We're on the same team. They catch, law enforcement officers catch the bad guys, and we prosecute them. Now, one of the important things about that is we need to provide training to law enforcement. I've talked to Sheriff Smith. I've talked to other police chiefs. That training is not happening. That training is not happening. How can we expect law enforcement to do the job right when we're not teaching them and training them in the law? I'm the Search and Seizure Section Director for the Utah Attorney General's Office. I train officers regularly on what they can and cannot do. And one great thing about that is I also learn. I'm not on the front lines, all right? I'm not on the front lines, and the only way that I'm going to understand that is if I'm talking to law enforcement. I learn as much from them as they do from me.
David.
1 month into office, not far from here in American Fork, a member of the sheriff's office, 3 members of the sheriff's office had a handcuffed man on his stomach and were beating him on videotape. It's
Ladies and gentlemen, do not say
it's
that.
on YouTube.
Don't do that.
You can see it. 3 days before that, one of those same deputies stopped an individual, took the barrel of his rifle and jammed it into the forehead of the person he'd stopped, causing a gash on his forehead. And then a member of the sheriff's office took $2,500 of task force drug money and paid him off. And when the sheriff came to me and insisted that I should not investigate that, I thought that relationship is just not going to happen, because I am a check against the sheriff. When they do things wrong, I'll work with the police when they do things right, but I'm a check on them every time they do things wrong, and I always will be.
So much there, right? You know how you provide a proper check on the police? You earn their trust and respect. And I've done that every day for the last 7 years, earning the trust and respect of your local officers, speaking to your chiefs and your sheriffs. I've trained with officers. I've done trainings for them, and I've done their trainings. I did their Hell Week for SWAT. I've done their DUI A-Ride program. I've gone to a checkpoint. And I do that so I can understand them. But then we have to train them. I agree with that. We have to get out there and train them. And it's by working together that they see us and we see them, and we learn to trust. And then, based off that trust, we can have rational conversations to air differences, to talk about where we each can do better. When you can't even sit in the room anymore with your sheriff and your chiefs, that's a failure of leadership. That is not how we properly deal with our relationship with law enforcement. Sorry, was that the time card? Okay, thank you.
We'll give Mr. 30 seconds.
Kids have to get as much time. Let him talk, guys.
Folks, I don't have any problem working myself with police officers, but I'm holding them accountable, and they don't like that. I will always hold the police accountable when they do things wrong, and I'll work with them when they do things right. That's my job.
All right, our next question